Imagine turning what you love doing in your free time into extra cash, or using those skills that you've honed over the years in the classroom in new, exciting, and most of all, profitable ways. But maybe you're stuck trying to figure out what you want to do for a side hustle, and the analysis paralysis of trying to find the perfect side gig has, resulted in you doing nothing. And each day that goes by is money you're missing out that you could be using to pay off debt, go on vacation, or get those overpriced Taylor Swift concert tickets that your Swiftie daughter wants. If that's you, today's episode is going to help you break that mental block that's costing you money. By the end of this episode, you're going to have 5 guiding questions that will help you decide on the side hustle that's perfect for you. Hey there, folks. Welcome to After School Empire, the show that helps teachers make extra money after school by launching and growing their own income-generating side hustles. I'm your host, Tony Neely. I'm a veteran teacher and a serial side hustler who loves helping other teachers make extra money. Selecting the right side hustle can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming, especially when you're balancing the demands of being a full-time teacher. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Today, we're going to cover the 5 questions I have teachers answer during side hustling professional development workshops and one-on-one coaching sessions to help them find their side hustles. First, ask yourself, what am I good at that others aren't? We all have unique knowledge, skills, and abilities, things that we're just exceptionally good at. As teachers, we're really good at identifying strengths in our students, so now let's turn that skill inward. Think about your talents and your capabilities. Are you an organization wizard? Maybe you're a tech guru, a skilled photographer, or perhaps you're known for baking amazing cookies. Then look around and see what needs doing. What are tasks that people consistently need help with? Or products that they wish they could find? This could range from tech support to home-baked goods. For example, a few years ago, my friend Sean and I were talking about his family's adoption experience when he shared the outrageous fees that families were being charged for adoption profiles. I know how to do graphic design. It's something that I really enjoy, and it's something that I'm pretty good at. As a result, I started Our Little Cub, a side hustle aimed at providing adoption profiles at a more affordable price, which has not only helped many hopeful adopting families, but has also become a fulfilling and profitable venture for me that used existing skills that I had. We're all good at something. What is it that you're good at? If you don't know, ask your friends, your family, and your colleagues. I'm sure they can give you some helpful feedback. The next question is, what is a gap that I can fill? This is about observing your surroundings for unmet needs or underserved areas. With our deep community connections, teachers are perfectly positioned to spot these opportunities. Listen for the common complaints or the frequent, "I wish somebody would" statements. Is there a service that's constantly lacking? Maybe a product that's hard to find locally? For instance, when I started living on a sprayer exterior cleaning, it was because I noticed that many historic homes in my neighborhood desperately needed gentle yet effective cleaning. No one else was offering this specific service, so I jumped in, leveraging my knowledge of soft washing techniques to fill this gap. And guess what? It turned into a highly profitable endeavor where I averaged making around $100 an hour by aligning my unique skills with the specific needs of my community. So what are gaps that you notice around you? If you've ever said, "I wish somebody would," or "Why hasn't anyone ever?" then my question to you is, why don't you do it? Someone's going to get paid for filling that gap, and I think that person should be you. Hey there, I really hope you're enjoying this episode of After School Empire. If you're gaining any benefit from this podcast at all, could I ask you to do one thing? Please take a moment and share it with other teachers. Just a simple social media post or text message to a colleague not only helps this show keep growing, but can also be the first step in helping a friend that you care about learn how to gain more financial independence by launching and growing their own side hustle. Thanks so much. Now back to the show. The third question to ask is, what improvements can I make to existing products or services? This isn't about reinventing the wheel, just figuring out ways to make it roll smoother. Look at the products and services that you use and think about how they could be improved. Are there inefficiencies that could be streamlined? Features that could be added? For example, while working on my doctoral degree at the University of Texas at San Antonio, go Runners, I vowed not to shave until I had successfully defended my dissertation. This led to a long, unruly beard that itched like crazy. I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I went to the store looking for something that could help, but most of the beard oils and balms that were on the shelves were full of artificial perfumes and additives that would wreak havoc on my super sensitive skin. So, I decided to create my own organic beard oil and balms. As my friends at church started noticing how nice my beard looked and smelled, yes, I had some weird friends that like to smell my beard. Don't ask, they're dudes. They started asking if they could buy some. I went on to launch Bearded Saints, which makes small batch, hand-poured organic beard care products, which sells out pretty much every time I make a batch. Like I found with my beard oil, addressing a common frustration can lead to a successful side hustle. So what improvements can you make to goods and services to make some extra cash? Now, ask yourself, what am I passionate or nerdy about? This is where your side hustle can truly become a source of joy. When you're working on something you love, it doesn't feel like work at all. Whether it's crafting, photography, or even your love for a particular band, turning your passion into a side hustle not only makes the work enjoyable, but also deeply fulfilling. For example, my favorite band is Phish. I have spent a lot of time and, to be honest, side hustle money going to Phish shows around the country. Before and after shows, fans hang out on Shakedown, which is the name for the open-air bazaar in the parking lot, where people sell band-related merch, such as shirts and hats and posters, even bobbleheads. One such business is You Enjoy My Socks, that creates unique band-themed socks that caught on fast among fans. This side hustle allowed the owners to start making extra money in the parking lots before and after shows, and now it's a thriving business. So what is it that you nerd out over or that you love to do with your spare time? Then ask yourself, how can I monetize this? Chances are, together we can find a way to turn that passion into cash. The last question is, what are unique opportunities that I have access to that others don't? Maybe it's access to resources that others don't readily have, or the deal of a lifetime that fell into your lap that can easily be monetized. Let me share a story. I have been flipping yard sale finds online since I was a kid. I have a whole episode on this coming up, so be on the lookout for that. But a few summers back, I went to an estate sale in my neighborhood because they advertised that they had records, which I personally collect, and so I went by to see what they had. When I walked into the two-story Victorian home, I was shocked to learn that the previous owner had been a media hoarder who had filled his entire home, including the bathrooms, with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves full of books, DVDs, audiobooks, CDs, records, and more. After I picked my jaw up off the floor, I went through the records and found a nice stack to take home. When I was settling up with the folks running the sale, I half-jokingly told them to give me a holler if they wanted to sell it all to one person. A few weeks later, I got a call that the house had sold and the new owner wanted it cleaned out ASAP. They told me that if I could get everything cleared out by the following weekend, I could have it all for $500. I took them up on the offer with my wife's blessing, ended up turning that $500 investment into $8,000 cash from flipping online and an additional $3,000 trade-in at my local McKay's bookstore. Not a bad return on investment. I have several other stories where opportunities like this fell into my lap and allowed me to make some serious extra dough. I'll share those in the future. And there you have it. My 5 key questions to help teachers find their side hustle. To recap, those questions are, what am I good at that others aren't? Second, what is a gap that I can fill? Third, what's an improvement that I can make to an existing good or service? Fourth, what is something that I'm nerdy or passionate about, and how can I monetize that? And finally, what unique opportunities do I have access to that others don't? Remember, moving from idea to income involves dedication and adaptability, but with the right approach, it can lead to significant and profitable outcomes. So that's it for this episode. If you have a side hustle story to share or you're brewing up a new idea that you're excited about, drop us a note in the comments, and who knows, maybe you'll even be a guest on a future episode of After School Empire. Don't forget to sign up for the After School Empire mailing list. You'll receive regular updates packed with tips on side hustling, personal finance, and strategies to maximize your earning potential. So join our community of educators and side hustlers by going to www.afterschoolemempire.com and subscribing today.